And speaking of the Lubbock County Medical Examiner, tonight in his first exclusive television interview since leaving the post, Dr. Sridhar Natarajan tells his side of the story.
Last month, the KCBD Investigates team learned of a backlog of cases at the ME's office, leaving families on the South Plains waiting months for their loved ones' death certificates and autopsy reports.
When our Investigates team started asking questions, Lubbock County Commissioner Bill McKay, new Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Sam Andrews, and an administrator held a news conference.
Dr. Andrews told our investigative reporter Shaley that he recently had discovered a backlog of 427 cases. But as you are about to hear, Dr. Natarajan says there is more to the story.
I think I'd have great concerns over anybody who would say something like that.
This October 16th news conference caught former Lubbock County Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Sridhar Natarajan's attention. When did the backlog problems start?
I started October 1st, identified the backlog or the outstanding cases. I can't speak to why they exist, but they were prior to my appointment in Lubbock.
But Natarajan says his replacement, Dr. Sam Andrews, was well aware of the number of open cases because he had worked at the office on a contract basis for months before his formal appointment as chief on October 1st.
You have an individual who's been coming to the office for almost a year. They took over as the interim chief August 5th. And when you walk in the door of the medical examiner's office, to your left are all the files that are open. The idea of being stunned or shocked or unaware of what's going on, I don't accept that.
In October of 2016, Natarajan elected to take a pay cut to begin succession planning. In February of 2017, County Commissioner Patty Jones reiterates the reduction in salary is in no way reflective of any dissatisfaction of the Commissioner's Court, but the result of Natarajan's unselfish desire to redirect those funds to other staff members who would be assuming his duties. Natarajan says doctors began coming into the office on a contract basis so he could vet the candidates for his replacement upon retirement. After months of searching, Natarajan says he and his team recommended their finalist to county commissioners.
There was a written offer.
A written offer from the commissioners to this individual?
Yes.
But then he says he learned the commissioners did not agree to the doctor's terms, and the deal fell through.
We had done our job, and we had found a very elite, good person. Human Resources and the Commissioner's Court then took over at that point. I stepped out of it because I basically had very little respect for the process at that point.
On August 9th, commissioners had a special meeting to recognize Natarajan's retirement.
There's not enough thank yous to say thank you.
And appoint Andrews as the interim acting chief medical examiner. Days later, on August 15th, Andrews sent Natarajan an email.
And it says, yesterday we received a complaint about you from an employee that included allegations about recent actions and behavior. Some of those allegations were startling. Do you have any idea what the allegation is?
No, I have no idea what the allegations is. Human Resources never told me a thing. If you tell somebody they can't come in the building and they have cases to perform, they have 2 trials that they've been subpoenaed for, but you're not going to give them access to that. You tell them they can't talk to the employees by 11 p.m. or 11:50 p.m. that night. I just said, I'm retiring.
Following Natarajan's retirement, Lubbock County signed an agreement with San Diego, California-based National Autopsy Assay Group Pathology Labs for full-time pathology services, later agreeing to pay up to an additional $600,000 to complete the backlog, something Natarajan emphasizes was no secret.
Oh, I was very aware of it. Dr. Andrews was very aware of it. Dr. Postelnik was very aware of it. And we were all had a very good system of getting them completed. And my plan was that if the person that we had recommended be hired, I would be confident staying on, and I was going to finish those by the end of the year or into early January. So there was a plan set up to get those finished.
The KCBD Investigates team obtained this list of outstanding cases at the Lubbock County Medical Examiner's office. The cases are divided between Dr. Luisa Flores, who is no longer with the office after filing a whistleblower lawsuit in 2015, Dr. Sridhar Natarajan, who has since retired, Dr. Stephen Postelnik, who Dr. Natarajan says was removed from the office, and Dr. Sam Andrews, the only doctor on this list who still works at the ME's office. But commissioners say this will ultimately save the county money, 12%, or more than $330,000 a year.
Still, Natarajan says he has questions about this out-of-state company.
We don't need anybody in West Texas telling us what to do in another state. And if that's the solution, then that's not the West Texas I know.
We asked Dr. Andrews for a comment on tonight's report, and he directed us to Neil Burt, Chief of Lubbock County Civil Division, for comment. We do have an interview lined up with Lubbock County Commissioner Bill McKay for a response to Dr. Natarajan's statements. We'll have that interview right here on KCBD News Channel 11 at 10 tomorrow. Karen and Abner.
Thank you, Shaley.